So, you want to become good at math? Based on everything we see in movies and TV shows, we're often told that math is only for people with high IQs and natural talent. But actually, becoming good at math is not as hard as it seems, even if you don't think you have the math gene. Let me prove this to you with my story. My name is Han, and I graduated from Columbia University with a degree in mathematics and operations research. Since I majored in math and had pretty good grades, people assumed I was naturally smart. Little did they know, I actually struggled with math a lot in high school. The material just didn't make sense to me. I couldn't understand what the teacher was saying, and I remember feeling completely lost every time I asked for help. You could see the frustration in their eyes because I was so confused, and it really hurt my self-confidence. Back then, I always procrastinated when it came to studying math or doing math homework because I knew that no matter how long I tried, I couldn't figure it out. It was just such a negative experience. The thought of going to math class made me nervous. Sitting there, unable to grasp anything while the teacher explained concepts I had no clue about, was emotionally draining. It turns out I wasn't alone. Approximately 93% of adults in the US have experienced some level of math anxiety. But even though I was terrible at math in high school, one day something just clicked, and I finally felt like I cracked the code to becoming good at math. So here's what I did. Let me explain what I was doing back in high school. I would try to pay attention in math class, take notes, and spend hours reading textbooks, trying to understand the problems. I thought I was being diligent, but something wasn't right. Despite all my hard work, I wasn't seeing results, and I started to think maybe I was just stupid. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The problem was I was focusing too much on understanding math conceptually, and not enough on practicing it. Here's the thing, it's not just about reading or understanding math. To truly get better at math, you need to practice. You can't learn to drive by watching someone else drive, you have to get behind the wheel and do it yourself. Similarly, to get good at math, you need to practice problems, not just read about them. Now, here's what I do when I practice math. When I come across a problem, I don't immediately start writing. Instead, I take a few moments to think through how I'm going to solve it. If I don't know how to solve the problem at all, I won't waste time stressing. I'll look at the answer first. I study the solution thoroughly, paying attention to each step. Once I understand the solution, I'll set it aside and try solving the problem on my own. I write down each step, making a genuine effort to apply what I just learned. Once I've solved it, I compare my solution to the answer key again. If I made a mistake or got stuck, I don't give up. I'll review the answer once more, then try solving it independently again until I get it right. I know a lot of people might worry that looking at the answer first is just memorizing it without really understanding the process. But the truth is, if you understand the math behind the problem, you will understand the logic behind each step. For example, if the problem gives you A, and the answer is D, you'll understand how A leads to B, B leads to C, and so on. This is not just memorization, it's real understanding. One technique that I find really helpful is called the Feynman technique. It's a method developed by Nobel Prize-winning physicist Richard Feynman. The idea is to test your understanding by explaining the concept to someone else, ideally someone with little to no knowledge of the subject. If you can explain it in simple terms, then you truly understand it. Sometimes I'll even pretend I'm teaching someone else, or better yet, when someone asks me a question, I'll explain it to them. That's a great way to test if you really understand the concept. You might be thinking, why does math sometimes make no sense? The answer is simple. Math builds on itself. Every new concept is based on the ones before it. For example, to learn calculus, you first need to understand pre-calculus, which itself relies on algebra, geometry, and other basic concepts. If you feel lost in a math class, it's probably because you're missing a piece of that foundational knowledge. It's not that you're bad at math. It's just that you may not have mastered the earlier concepts yet. Here's a cool concept. Our brains have two systems, what I like to call the slow brain and the fast brain. The slow brain is responsible for reasoning, processing, and conscious thinking. When you first hear something, your brain is actively trying to understand it, and it may take a while for it to make sense. On the other hand, the fast brain relies on pattern recognition and intuition. This part of the brain is fast and automatic. It processes things without you even realizing it. For example, if I show you a picture of a cat, you don't need to think hard about it. Your fast brain immediately recognizes it as a cat. Similarly, when you're good at math, many of the basic concepts like algebra and geometry become second nature to you. So, when you learn a new topic, your fast brain automatically uses all that prior knowledge, which is why experienced math learners seem to pick up new material so quickly. So, if you want to get better at math, the key is practice and perseverance. Don't just read about math, do it. Make sure you understand each problem before moving on. Don't rush through things, and don't feel bad if you don't get it right the first time. Keep practicing, and your brain will slowly switch from the slow mode to the fast mode, making math feel easier and more intuitive. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye, love you.